Greg, Maya, and Betty are not experts, nor do they claim to be. They're just a bunch of nerds who enjoy talking about movies, shows, and current events. So sit back, grab a coffee, relax, and enjoy a brand new episode of All Queued Up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of... I don't know why I say another. I just realized that. I say another. Anyway, guys, welcome to another episode of All Queued Up. I'm your host, Greg Dietz. And with me always is Maya Don Fisher and Betty Badger. How have you guys' week's been?
Mine's been uneventful. Mine's has been pretty eventful. So, how's your been?
How's my been?
Yeah, how's your been?
I don't have a bin. I've got a Misty. No, I've been pretty busy the past few days, and especially today. Pretty eventful week as of yesterday. My name is officially legally changed now. I no longer have the dead name, and I've started the process of getting it updated in all the necessary systems. Social Security Administration, DMV, my doctors, all that. So it's going to take a few days of filling out paperwork and mailing some forms off because the Social Security office is closed. And I don't know what driver's license if I'll be able to get that updated with the paper that I have, or if I have to get a new Social Security card first. So I'm going to call the DMV in the morning and find out. But then today I had to get labs done for my past two doctor visits and in the past today and last week, and they took 9 vials of blood, just routine follow-ups, full comprehensive lab work just to make sure everything's good and everything's coming back all great. All numbers are coming back in the black, so I'm healthy. For a fat girl, I'm healthy anyway. They commented on my weight loss and everything, because I used to weigh at one point 465 pounds, and I'm down to 285.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's 180 pounds I've lost over the past few years.
That's a whole me and some.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's like I lost a whole person, and I'm feeling great, and my mental health is wonderful. I'm getting vaccinated tomorrow. I'm getting the Moderna vaccine tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that.
Be
and
prepared,
hopefully get the driver's license changed.
I don't know if you'll have the same experience that my dad did, but be prepared for a couple days of uncomfortableness. You might not have any on your first go.
That's what I've heard, and it varies from person to person, in my immune system where I am immunocompromised, so it may affect me harder than it does, a totally normal, healthy person, but we'll see. I have a therapist appointment Thursday, so we'll see. We're recording Tuesday. We're recording early because my week and Greg's week's so busy. We had to record early tonight, so it's a Tuesday evening afternoon for Greg.
My dad had his legs have been really painful lately, more painful than normal, and none of the pain medication he's taking is working. So we contacted his doctor yesterday, and it was this whole thing of getting a hold of a new person. So they're asking questions that are already on my dad's information, which is Jesus Christ. And then another nurse calls, and she was awesome. She was actually really nice.
No,
she was like,
no offense, but I got him beat on leg pain, I'm sure.
Which vaccine did he get?
Did my dad get the Moderna?
Because we got the Pfizer, and I tell you what, while I only had, I had some arm pain for the first few days. And I felt sorry.
His leg pain is not associated with the vaccine.
Well, here's the thing, though. My hip has been killing me. way more painful than normal since I've had the shot. And it's the only part of my body that is just not happy right now. So I'm like, this is kind of weird, because since I've had the shot, my back and my iliosacral crest have been killing me. But my other joints are fine. Everything else is fine. But the pain will not stop.
Huh.
Nothing stops it.
And
I'm used to that pain, but this is on another level. This is on I don't like dealing with this level.
No joke. Yesterday, we got home from work, and I got a text from him. Like, I started playing a little Fall Guys with my buddy, and he texted me. He goes, "Hey, Greg, I need you to come down here and help me off my chair. I can't get up." And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" So I go down there, and like we usually do this thing where like he doesn't want me to pull him. He wants me to just be a rock, so that way he can pull himself up. That's how he likes to do it. So that's what I do. And he like literally can't get up. He just can't stand up. So then I pull, hoping, like, thinking that'll help, and it still won't work. Like, his leg just won't carry the weight. So after like about 10, 15 minutes of constantly trying, he was finally able to stand up. And like, it took him a hot minute to get up the stairs so he could just go to the bathroom and change. And he was like, "I don't get it. I don't get why it hurting so bad. I don't understand it." And I was like, "I don't know either. I mean, maybe it's just extra. I don't know. I don't know what it is." So he contacts his doctor. His doctor, well, the nurse calls back. He misses the fucking call because he doesn't fucking take his phone with him wherever he goes in the house. So he calls back, but it's an automated thing. He gets a hold of somebody he's never spoke to, and she asks 1,001 questions that don't necessarily need to be answered. Very shortly after that call, she goes, stay near your phone because I'm going to call you back in like 30 minutes. And he was like, okay. He goes stand up to go to the bathroom, and he was like, "My legs are fine. Like, they don't hurt as bad. I don't know what the fuck it was about." And then today we ran some errands, which I'll tell you about in a little bit, and it happened again. And I think it has to do with like the swelling in his legs, because he has I don't remember what it is exactly on why his legs swell, but they swell very easily if they're not elevated. So
yeah,
when he has them elevated,
it's common.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's
like,
a common thing.
The doctors have said it.
Lower extremity edema.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I think it is associated with diabetes, but it might be because of the vaccine that it's hurting worse.
Again, I haven't spoken to my doctor about it or anything, because again, I don't want to be like, oh, bitch is in pain again, but it really is. It's one of these things. It's like, oh wow, so that pain clinic you were talking about, what? I mean, it's not constant, but it is very in your face. When it hits, and it is. It's again, I'm used to the pain. I'm used to being in a certain level of pain pretty much constantly from this. But this is like I went walking around Gatlinburg for a day kind of pain, and I have not been walking anywhere. I walk around my house, I do chores, that's it. This is Gatlinburg walking pain, and Maya knows what I'm talking about, because Gatlinburg ain't nothing but hills. Both ways.
But yeah, they said that
except for that one little stretch.
Yeah, right there where the old motel used to be, and now it's a whiskey bar. So
Jesus,
that's where everybody stops and goes, "Woo, give me a whiskey."
But yeah, so the only opening that they had for us an appointment was like tomorrow morning at 10, which is roughly when we record. So it's like, had to reschedule.
That's totally understandable. I hope everything's okay, and they figure out what's causing these flare-ups. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is, like, there's a few problems, and I think that it does have to do with the vaccine, because last month, the last time he had the test done for his like kidneys, the blood drawn and whatnot, his kidneys were fine. They were not fine. Obviously, they're never going to be fine. but they weren't lowering. They were at like 28, 30%, somewhere in there, functionality. This last test that he just got done like 5 days ago said they were at 20%. It's like,
Okay.
what the fuck happened? He didn't change his diet. Like, how the fuck did it drop? And so he talked to his doctor today, and his doctor was like, it might have to do with the vaccine. It might have to do with something else, because he goes, Greg, you have a myriad of medical issues, and you're taking a bunch of different pills that affect different things. Like, there's one pill that he takes for, I think it's for the swelling in his legs in relation to diabetes, but it fucks with his kidneys. And then the kidney stuff like fucks with his diabetes. It's this weird like fucking balance they have to do with his pills.
They don't have him on dialysis?
It's a tug of war.
Well, we're trying to avoid dialysis right now. We're trying to keep him as far away from dialysis as possible, which is why we're going full vegan. But I've already had to go to a dialysis clinic, so that way we could learn exactly what both of us have to do when he goes on dialysis. The shit that we're going to have to fucking have in the house. It's a lot. And because it was so much, that kind of put the fucking fire under my dad's ass to eat better. And so him having it at 20% and nothing having changed in his diet was just him and I were just like, what? How? So
that's also that can be very disheartening too. So I hope that they, and discouraging to the point where he may want to like say, well, all this work I've put in, it's not showing any improvement now.
Right.
I think they'll get to the bottom of it. They'll figure it out. And,
the doctor said
stays positive. And
the doctor said today that the lower kidney function is likely associated with the vaccine and that it should go back up. But, I don't know.
Yeah, because he just got vaccinated, last weekend?
The 27th of February. So
yeah, we got vaccinated the weekend last.
Okay, 2 weeks.
And he has the second one coming up very soon.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. It was probably within, I know it was within 2 weeks of him getting the vaccine that he had the new functionality. And it takes, time for a vaccine to move through your system and, build up your immune system for what it's combating. So it's very likely. Yeah, because it's in that 10 to 14 day range. So it's very likely it's vaccine related. So I wouldn't stress and just stay positive. But hopefully they figure out what the labeling is.
That's one of the things that I think too as well, is because, having just gotten diagnosed with the HLA-B27 and they are, under the assumption at this point that there is an immune system issue that's attacking my hip and pelvic area. That's bad. And so to me, that makes sense. With the vaccine, I've already gotten a heightened white blood cell count. It's like, it's going into a little bit of overdrive and attacking my area a little bit more than normal, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that it hurts and I don't like it. But it's better than COVID and I don't care. This will stop,
The thing that I'm excited about with the Moderna vaccine, it's like a 96 or something like that, 96% effective against COVID itself, but it's 100% effective against a severe case of COVID.
Yeah.
So like if you do get it, in that 3, 4, 5% chance that you do get it, it's going to be mild as hell because of the vaccine. So I'm like, I'm all for it. Hook me up. I called around to multiple pharmacies. None in my town had any. And they said, call back in the middle of next week. We're supposed to be getting more. I was like, well, if I don't find anyone else, I'll call you back. My doctor's office has me scheduled to get one at their location, but it's not until April 2nd. And I said to myself long ago, I was like, as soon as that vaccine's available, I'm getting it as soon as I possibly can. And then when they said, yeah, we've got a Moderna vaccine, we've got a Pfizer vaccine, there's a Johnson & Johnson coming, and I read up on all three, and I was like, yeah, I want the Moderna because of the efficiency and the effectiveness rate of it. And I said, my goal is to be vaccinated by spring. Well, first day of spring's in just 8 days, 9 days, something like that, or maybe even less. So I'm getting vaccinated by spring, by God. So, hey, I didn't want to wait. And
I didn't either. And we got a chance, and we jumped on it because why not? It's like I see all these people, the local news. Oh, it's fake. It's a placebo. I'm like, well, if it is, what's your problem? Why not do it? If it's fake, what's your big deal?
I think some of these people were issued. I think a lot of these people that comment on the local news station page have placebos for their fucking brains.
Yeah, it's not real. It's just a
sugar
brain.
No, it's just a placebo. You don't have any intelligence. Well, it's like we were having that conversation in our chat yesterday. The people in our region, mine and Betty's region, are so horrifyingly dumb, for lack of a better word. The ignorance that they put on display and proudly put on display online, it's both shocking, heartbreaking, and makes me feel ashamed of where I'm from. And it goes back to when we watched that Hillbilly documentary. Not enough intelligent people from this area that are displayed. The stereotype that we fall into, sadly, there's a lot of valid reasons for that stereotype.
Yeah. I've been watching YouTube, and there's this channel called Soft White Underbelly. And I guess he kind of looks at the dregs of society, people who are drug users, people who have mental diseases. And now I notice he has an Appalachia section. And these people are not the people that I think should be representing Appalachia. It's just like, okay, yeah, these are some of my neighbors, but can you pick some people that look like me, that talk like me, and put them on there too? Because please don't have people thinking that we're all like that, because we're not. It's
and then you go into a Walmart. I went to Walmart for the first time. The first time I've been into a Walmart since March the 7th of last year, which was the day you and I first met in person when I came by your shop. It's the first time I've been in Walmart today, and I could tell you,
nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed. She's pulling from that. That must be where he's getting his demographic, because wow.
Yeah, it's like, well, the first girl I saw was from Kentucky. Bless her heart. And there's like 4 or 5 more, and I'm just like, why are all these people like, again, you've really stereotyped Appalachia here, dude. I don't feel that's fair. I don't want to be considered like a mental disease, but I guess we are.
What's funny? It's
from mental illness, but
I do too, but here we are, just being Appalachian apparently is right up there, What do you suffer from? Well, I'm bipolar and Appalachian,
Something that I've noticed that it's always interesting to me is that you go to different parts of the country, and there are the stereotypes that you don't want to be associated with. Like Californians, for example, we have some stereotypes that I didn't even know we had until I started doing streaming and podcasting and talking to people from across the country. Apparently I say like a lot, a fucking lot.
We all say like a lot. That's no longer California's. Y'all started it, but we ran with it.
We like appropriated that, man.
Yeah. I mean, when I think of California, again, I've never been there. But the first thing that honestly pops into my head is the SNL, the Hollywood people, like
Oh
the
yeah,
blonde
yeah.
people that they do, that family. Yeah, that's what I think of. But I know it's a stereotype.
Well,
It's like I
I
can
would say that's
absolutely laugh at stereotypes of Appalachia as well, but let's admit that they're stereotypes and not
right,
not
right,
the
right.
truth of everyone.
Yeah, there was like one of the funniest things that happened to me a while back was I was playing video games with a bunch of people. I think it was Halo. And we had like a guy that was in there from Australia, a guy from Canada, and I think two people. That one was in New York and somebody else was in like some other state that was lower than, I don't remember. And then it was like three of us who all live in California. And we were sitting there just talking about differences and stuff. The thing that made us laugh the hardest, by the way, was the Australian trying to do an American accent. Because he started talking like a Southerner, and we were just like, "That's
Everybody
Southern,
does.
that's Southern."
That's the easiest one for them to mimic. It really is.
Really is. So I said to him, I said, "I'm
Why
from
he
Cal-"
always gets for the Southern accent, Daddy Aussie, going right for the Southern accent. That's ridiculous.
So we were fucking cracking up, and I said to him, I said, "Us three are from California. We're from Central California, not Southern California, where you get the Valley Girl accent. We're from Southern. Oh, sorry, from Central. So try to mimic our accent." And he was just like, "Hi, can I get a burger?" And it was we fucking lost it. Like, it was so bad, but it was so much fun. And then, of course, I'm bad with accents, so like I try to do an Australian one, he fucking dies laughing, and then the guy from New York was like, "Do your best New York accent." It was like that Brooklyn fucking "oh, fuck you," like that, and he's like, "Do I talk like that?" And I was like, "Obviously not." So like, but that's the funniest part to me, is that being friends with so many people around the world, I've had these wonderful experiences learning about stereotypes and how bullshit they are, and I know that stereotypes derive from truth.
Yes,
that's the problem.
They always do. That is the problem, because that gets stuck in people's mind. It's like, yeah, so absolutely. We have stupid people around here. We have people that are very backwards. We have people that are willfully ignorant. We have people that are genetically ignorant. But they're not the majority. They're just the loudest.
That are genetically backwards.
And I think that, a lot of the intelligent people from this region leave and they don't come back.
That's why so they're the intelligent ones. That's why they're the intelligent ones. They get out because they seize the opportunities to do so.
Yeah.
One of my biggest regrets in life was moving back here, but at the same time, I also wouldn't be the person who I am today if I didn't, and wouldn't have the family that I have today and the friends I have today if I didn't. So it's a double-edged sword, I'm totally grateful for everything that I have in my life. I just hate the fact that I live in tiny-ass little mountain town in Virginia that, you sneeze and you pass through it.
Yeah,
literally.
I mean, I was thinking the other day, there are some things that I wish I could go back and do over, but only if I could be guaranteed to still have the people that I love in my life, like my daughter and my husband. And I know, there are a lot of things that I would go back and I would change, but not without the guarantee of making sure I still had them in my life. I mean, I would go through all the hell over again if it meant still having them in my life. I mean, yeah, that shitty things happen, man. But I love my family.
I try to play this game with my dad often. It's like, what if, your life took a slightly different turn? Like, I say to him, like, what if you never got into high school with football?
Well, in another parallel universe, there's a you with two legs. There's a you with no legs.
There's a you where you're Batman.
Yeah.
He hates playing it because he feels like it's full of regret. To which I have to explain to him, it's not full of regret, because if you hadn't got let's play this game. If you hadn't got injured in high school, there's no guarantee that you would have been injured to the point where you had to take up business with your dad, to which then would have led to you meeting mom at a diner. You might not even have met Mary and had Lily. So by the shitty things that have happened in your past led to some great things in your future. Like, let's not forget that. It's not a game of regret. It's a game of what if. That's it. It's just a game of what if. And I think a lot of people miss that when they play that, you know, like, what if this was different in my past? And personally, like, I understand where you're coming from, Maya. Like, you don't live in the best place. You're like, yeah, this kind of sucks. But at the same time, it's like you said, you know, like, look at the great stuff you have, and that great stuff you have is because you moved back. So
yeah, and you know, it's just something that seems so trivial at the time, and it's always, you know, like, what if I did this? What if I did that? How different would things be? And I love, like, say, when Marvel does it, I love looking at those, you know, instances. But when you really truly apply it to yourself, like, if, you know, if I hadn't moved back in 1995, like, I have no idea how different my life would be. There's just no way.
This might be the only universe where you ever met Misty.
I know.
Like, so there's that realm of possibility, but
That's a very small chance.
it really is, considering the theory of the multiverse. Like, if you can think it, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible, but the probability is very small. But, you know, I absolutely, I mean, I get it. There are lots of things. I mean, I wouldn't have married my first husband. First of all, I wouldn't have gotten in that motherfucking car. You know, I mean, so many things I would have done different.
You got in the car and decided, fuck it, let's get married.
Well, no, we got married, and then later I got in the car. You know, so. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that, I would do different. I mean,
I see what you're saying now. You're referencing. Gotcha.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's like, if I hadn't married him, I would have never had an opportunity to get in that car to begin with, because, you know, we were riding with mutual friends. You know, this wouldn't have been happening. And again, you know, there's, you know, I wish I could go back and do it over again, but I can't. You know, it sucks. It is what it is. I've learned my lessons, and I've passed them on to my girls and said, hey, you know, learn some shit from this. You know, don't do this. You know, don't get married at 19 to a guy you've known for 3 months, because that's really stupid. Really fucking stupid. And of course, you know, my kid looks at me and she's like, do you think I'm stupid? I'm like, no, but I didn't think I was stupid either. You know, teenagers do stupid shit. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, that's half the fun of growing up, if you ask me, is looking back and going, wow, I was an idiot. But being a young idiot is just part of it. It's just part of life.
Like, as much of all the stupid shit that I did, it's a miracle I'm alive.
Right. You know, I did some really stupid sketch things that I'm like, God, I just, wow. You know, it's like, I hope my kid is way smarter than me and does not do these things ever.
You hope, and then they do that one thing, you're just like, well, never mind. That ship has sailed.
They do that one thing, it's like, well, she came by it honest.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like my dad, the ex-cop, you know, apparently he broke into somebody's house as a teenager, and I'm like, yeah, now I'm the bad one? I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I broke into somebody's house one time to have sex.
Oh, Jesus. That's
I just parked in cars, okay? I didn't break in nobody's house.
I did.
Were they home?
No.
Oh, that's
Now,
okay.
to be fair, I knew whose house it was, and I knew they were at work. And I proceeded to say to the person I was seeing at the time, let's desecrate his house. And we did. We just
Did you
Did he ever find out?
yeah. About 3 years later.
Wow.
Well, I told him 3 years later, but at the time, no, I wasn't going to say anything.
Jesus.
You do you, girl.
So I want to tell you guys about what happened to me today because I was going to bring it up earlier, but it's kind of funny. Well, I brought it up in the warm up just because I wanted to tell you guys, but then I was like, I want to save it for the podcast because it's kind of funny. It's interesting. So completely different conversation direction, if you will.
Well, it involves a bed.
I need a new mattress. I've been needing a new mattress for a long time. And it's not like the worst thing. It's honestly not the worst thing that I've ever had, but it's like it's got pillows underneath it to kind of keep it aloft. And I knew that this new shop that opened down the street, which is it's not a thrift shop per se.
Wait. You've got pillows under your mattress to keep it aloft?
To keep like the center of it from sinking.
What kind? And when was the last time you bought a mattress?
You want to know the truth of that? I've never bought a mattress. I've always been given mattresses.
Whoa.
So you've never had a new mattress. You've always had like a brother's old mattress or a friend's old mattress. Okay.
The current one that I have, when my sister-in-law, Michaela, was her and Josh were moving into their apartment in Sacramento, they bought a brand new bed, and she just was trying to get rid of this one and gave it to me. And I've had it for about 5 years now, 6 years. But I treated it very poorly, like pretty poorly. Not to mention I'm fat, so it just wore down quick.
Jumping on the bed, doesn't help.
I think I've had 5 new mattresses over the past 20 years with Jeff. We just bought the last one like last year, past 2 years. I think it was past 2 years. Yeah. It's a memory foam mattress, But yeah, with my hip problems, mattresses are very important to me. They are sacred things. And once one starts to go, that's it. I'm done. Nope, can't do this anymore. It's not going to work. Time to start fresh, So, but I like the one we've got now because there's no dipping. The last one we had was a memory foam pillow top type thing. So it still had a regular mattress underneath, but this is just a straight up memory foam mattress on slats. There's no bed springs or anything. So it's nice. I like it. As you can see, it's kind of bouncy when I talk and stuff. It's on camera. But yeah, I do like it. Jeff doesn't like it because it's not a, concrete wall. He likes to sleep on hard surfaces. And I'm like, no, I want to sleep on a cloud. It's pillow soft.
I can get with him there because I sleep on the floor and I have for years.
Yeah, he's fine with that. He loves camping and shit. And I'm like, nope, I need a mattress. I need a bed. Yeah. There is no sleeping on the floor.
I fall out of the bed. I fall off a mattress.
We were talking about that too. Like I was shopping for a twin. I was shopping for a twin because I don't need more than I have a full. This is a full. I don't fall. I've never fallen out of a bed.
Oh my God, I've fallen out of a bed so many times, but maybe you suffer from something similar to what I suffer from. I don't go into paralysis when I sleep like a lot of people do. That's one of the things with the REM behavioral disorder syndrome. We just don't go into paralysis, and that's why we can act out our dreams sometimes. And when I'm going through a nightmare and I'm rolling and rolling, yeah, I've woken up on the floor. I've woken up, turned around in the bed before too.
I remember
Wow.
one time. I remember one time when I was in the hospital, and this was back when I was having heart issues. Madison was a toddler. She was like a year old, maybe a year and a half. So it's been 12 years ago. Thankfully, I don't have these issues anymore because extreme weight loss will do that, make things better. But I was in the hospital and I told them, I was like, look, I fall out of a bed. And they said, well, you can't fall out of this bed. I was like, I'll find a way. I'll find a way. And they came in and I was laid up in the damn floor, just asleep, snoring in the floor, pillow clutched to me. And they asked me, Steve, what did he do? And they said he climbed out in his sleep and got in the floor. And they're just like, well, we can't have him in the floor. She's like, he won't stay in the bed. And this is when I was a he. So, you know.
Well, again, that sounds very similar. You know, I used to wake up in the bathtub a lot. When I was younger, I would sleepwalk and I'd go in the bathtub and sleep in the bathtub, and I'd wake up in the bathtub with my pillow and a blanket. Yeah, I know, it's really weird.
the most I've ever done with sleeping wise is sleepwalk, but I haven't done that in God knows how fucking long. Like that was when I was like much younger.
I used to hum. I used to monotone hum. I used to say I was tuning myself with the universe. I'd wake myself up.
I downloaded an app too that's supposed to record snoring schedules and how loud you are when you're snoring and stuff like that.
Really? Send that to me so I can give it to Misty because she doesn't believe me that she could sound like a chainsaw.
Okay, well, what's funny is the app, like you can put your recordings on like a forum of like for everybody to listen to them. So 90% of them is farts, which is hilarious to me. But
everybody
she
farts
does that in their sleep,
especially
too.
everybody farts in their sleep, man. Everybody does it.
Mine was just farts. Like there was no other noise. Nothing happened during the night. Like I was like I think I don't know. I sleep like a log, but yeah. So I was shopping for a twin, and this was about a month ago. I want to say this was mid-February, give or take, early February. And we were waiting on an order because DoorDash and whatnot. And I went into Shop Heroic, which is the name of the store, and I was looking at mattresses. I was like, oh shit, okay, like they have twins here for $250. Whenever we get that sweet stimmy, I can go and buy a new mattress. So that's what I went in there today to do. And I go over.
I know, I love it.
Sweet stimmy sounds like something. It just sounds overly sexual to me. I'm sorry. Sweet stimmy.
Oh no, it's hilarious. It's stupid. That's why I like saying it. But so I go over to a guy and I said, hey, who do I need to talk to get a mattress? He doesn't speak English, and he looked very confused. Another woman walks up behind him and goes, can I help you out? And I said, yeah. Who do I talk to about getting a mattress? She goes, well, before I tell you that, I need you to know something. And I said, what? And she goes, you see those yellow tags on the box spring and the mattress? I said, yeah. She goes, you have to register those, and it's going to cost you more money, up to about $75 a piece. And I said, wait, what? And she goes, yeah, so there's a California registry for mattresses and box springs that you have to register them before you buy them, or when you're buying them.
What is the up to 75? I mean, is that based on size?
No, it's based on store. So here's what I had to pull it up, and this is also something in Connecticut and Rhode Island too. But for the California one, it says each company that produces, imports, distributes, or renovates included products for sale in the state must register online with an MRC through the system. Businesses selling included products in California or to California end users must collect at minimum $10.50 recycling fee on each of the units sold on or after December 30th, 2015, and submit a report that remit the collected fees to the MSRC monthly. So that's why I'm assuming it was so high as up to 75. was because Shop Heroic is a wholesale store. So they like get products that didn't sell elsewhere and they sell it in their place for cheaper.
Similar to like a Big Lots or an Ollie's or
yeah.
Ross, things like that.
It wouldn't have been that big of a deal if I had the money, but I just paid a bunch of bills that we were behind on with my stimulus, so I just didn't have the money. I had never heard of the fucking mattress registration fee. That was new to me, and it was new to my dad and everyone else that I've spoken to about this because they're like, "What?" But yeah, it's a thing, and I think also like depending if you go to like a big box store, or like a proper mattress store, like it might be cheaper, but you're also spending more on the mattress overall. So it's a catch-22. So no mattress today. I was like, that sucks a little bit. It's not the end of the world. I still have a mattress to sleep on. It's still comfortable enough and I get a good night's sleep on it. So it's not like I'm dying. I just wanted a new mattress. So I get back in the car and I go, all right, well, that's not happening today. My dad's like, he's a problem solver. So he's like, what about this store? What about this store? I was like, it doesn't matter which store I go into. I'm still going to have to pay some kind of fee, of which I don't have money for. And he was like, okay. And I was like, what I could maybe do down the road is do buy a mattress that has a monthly fee that I pay for like a 2-year contract or some shit.
Oh, like a rent to own type of place.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? But what happens if you can't pay for it? Do they resell the mattress?
I don't know. I get that you can tow a car to just bust down my door and take my mattress. That'd be hilarious.
I hope you got a sleeping bag because we're taking that mattress back and that box spring. You can keep that ratty ass headboard and frame though.
So,
oh my gosh.
I said to my dad, I go, well, why don't we go do the other thing that I need to do? And that's close my credit card that I have with Golden One, the credit union, because what they've suggested I do is I was supposed to do it last month, but I pushed it to this month, is close it out so that way all the money because the way that the credit union set up my credit card, since I didn't have a credit line to begin with at all, was a collateral account. So there's a cushion of like $300 and my card has a $300 limit. If for some reason I can't pay that, the credit card gets closed and the cushion gets paid. So my credit rating doesn't get fucking completely destroyed. That was the idea behind it. My credit rating is fine. It's not the best, but that's also because I fucked up doing it. That's a long story. So I was like, fuck it. I used the stimulus to pay the credit card. So if I shut off the credit card now, I just get $300 in my account immediately, right? So I go in and the girl says, yeah, not a problem. I can do that for you. I just need your ID, your bank card, and the credit card you're using. I said, not a problem. I go to pull everything out and I hand her my ID. And she goes, do you have another form of ID? And I went, no. And she goes, like not a passport or anything? I was like, no, that's it. That's all I got. And she goes, well, this isn't going to work. I went, why? And she goes, well, because your card's out of date. And that's when it dawned on me that my ID has been out of date since April of last year. That because of COVID, I haven't been able to get to the DMV to renew my ID. And I kept looking online to get it done, but it was like the other day it told me like, you're not eligible. And I'm like, how the fuck am I not eligible? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Because it's been so long since it expired, you have to reapply.
So I'll get to that in a second. And that's not entirely it. There's a little bit more to that. So you're not entirely wrong, but also there's another reason behind it. So I go back to the car and I'm like, well, that didn't fucking work out. And Dad goes, well, what do you want to do now? I said, let's go to the DMV, see how long the line is and see where we go from there. And he goes, okay. So I go wait in line and a guy talks to me and he says, the long and short of it, because the conversation is a little longer. He says, like, he's trying to tell me, like, here's what do you need to do? And I said, I need to renew my ID. And he goes, when was it last renewed? And I said, fucking like 2016. I don't know. I said it went out or something. April of last year. And he was like, okay. And as I pull up my card, and he goes, oh, that's going to be a problem. And I said, why is that? And he says, you need to issue for a real ID. What the fuck is a real ID? And so he pulls out his card and he says, a real ID has these two symbols on it that tell the federal government you are a citizen of the United States and what state you're from. He goes, this was something that was enacted or forced in October of last year. Had you re-registered your card before October of last year, you'd have had no problem. But now you have to register for a real ID. You need to have your birth certificate and 2 proofs of residency. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. And he goes, but unfortunately, we have a bunch of people that are signed up for stuff today. So is there, you're going to have to come back at 2:30. Here's your ticket. And I'm like, I can't come back at 2:30. Like, I have shit I got to do. So he's like, well, then what I recommend is that you come back as early as you can tomorrow morning, get a ticket for like an appointment, and then make sure you bring those papers that I told you to bring. I was like, okay, gotcha. So yeah, like 3 things I tried to do today. 3 things. Didn't fucking work.
And nothing accomplished.
I told my dad, I was like, well, let's
feel
go get
bad. I got to
lunch.
deal with. Don't feel bad. I got to deal with the DMV tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
Luckily, my DMV trip is not going to be as much of a pain in the ass, because at least I hope it's not. It's just a fucking ID. And I've been
well, that's what mine is too. But I don't know if it's going to hinge on that Social Security card or not.
I don't think it will. Because my Social Security card and my driver's license do not match. They don't have the same names on them.
I gotcha. My mom was saying something similar to that because she got, like, I called her to tell her that story because I was like, it's kind of funny. It's just a series of unfortunate events. Great show you should watch on Netflix, by the way.
Yes.
And I thought it was kind of funny. Like, nothing inherently changed. If for some reason I need to use the $300 that's in that cushion at the bank, I can still use my credit card and use that money. When I go to close the account, part of that cushion goes into paying the card. That's it. The mattress thing, not the end of the fucking world. I can deal with it. If I really, really want to, I can get a fucking pillow top for this thing, and then it'll be good. And as for the real ID, at least I got that in the fucking works. So I'm not upset. I just thought it was funny that the 3 things I tried to do today didn't work. So I'm telling my mom, and she's just like, starts having this fucking like panic attack. Not a real panic attack, but like she's just all upset. And I'm like, what are you so upset about? She's like, Greg, you don't get it. You don't get it. I have to do all of this extra stuff to get my ID. When all this COVID stuff is over and I go to get my driver's license back, you don't even know how much I have to do. And I was like, what do you have to do? And she was like, not only do I have to have my birth certificate, but I have to have proof that I married Bob, and then I divorced Bob, and then I'm still married to your dad. And I'm like, what? Why? And my dad just shakes his head yes. So I was like, wait, this is a thing? And apparently it's a fucking thing.
Yeah, I had to have my marriage certificate when I got my driver's license changed to my married name. I had to have my marriage certificate, which I had to go over on Tennessee side to get that because we got married on Tennessee side, not on Virginia side. And yeah, my Social Security number does not match the name that I use or the name that is my legal name. And when I get asked on documents, does your Social Security number match your name? I'm like, no. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm just too fucking lazy to fix it. I don't know what else to say. It's too much of a hassle. Every time I walk in that fucking Social Security building, I'm just like, oh, people. There's so many people. I'm just like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. So in that regard, you kind of understand where mom's coming from of just like the fucking absolute bullshit you got to deal with.
It's so, as a woman, it's absolute bullshit. It's like I had to go through an ordeal to get the judge to let me have my maiden name back when I got divorced the first time. Well, the only time. Yeah, but yeah, when I got divorced, I had to petition the judge to get my maiden name back and not use his last name. I was like, I will not be using that bastard's last name under no
Well,
circumstances.
to have it legally changed, that's what you have to do. Period. You got to petition the judge for a legal name change. That's just
It
the
took me
standard
2
procedure of
years.
what it all is. Wow.
Something that should have taken less than 6 months.
Well,
Took me
it should,
2 years
mine
because
took
he
less
wouldn't
than
sign the
6 days.
papers. Well, he wouldn't sign the fucking papers. I finally ended up calling his mom, and I was like, "Look, you tell this motherfucking bastard that I'm paying for all this shit." Oh, no, I called my ex-husband's mom, and I was like,
"Oh, I was going to say you called the judge's mom." That's awesome.
Yeah, I called the judge's mom. I was like, "Bitch, no." I called his my ex's mom. I was like, "You need to tell him I'm paying for all this. He needs to just sign the papers. Otherwise, I will be in Elizabethton this weekend and I will hunt him down." And he signed the papers, and then I was divorced. I guess he took me seriously that time. He should have
That's
taken
fucking
me
nuts.
seriously
Like
last time.
Like I know that there's a lot of shit that is absolute fucking nonsense that women have to deal with in this country. I would have never thought that was one of them.
Oh yeah,
That's insanity. Well, I guess I understand in that regard my mom's apprehensiveness in regards to this information, because she was just very like, this isn't fucking funny, Greg. Like, your story scares me. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to scare you.
yeah. It's a matter of when you've had your name changed several times due to marriage, it gets even more complicated, and it feels like sometimes different people will insist that you have different documentations at the same place, and it's like, but Karen told me X and now Sharon's telling me Y, and I'm like, it's insanity. Yeah, I don't recommend it. Being female can be complicated, and Maya's learning. It's a very complicated road that we walk as women in America. And
That's
it's
so
like, if
dumb.
using my maiden name like I do, I get people who stomp on me for that. And I'm like, look, I love my husband, and on paper, legally, I am his last name because it makes sense, with the kid and everything. It makes sense. But if something happens between him and I will always be an Ogletree, and nobody can take that away from me. And I learned that with my first marriage. So yeah, I don't use my married name. I use my maiden name because that's who I identify as. My married name is just for legal purposes. And even Lydia's talked about taking my last name when she gets older, because the name dies with me and it dies with us. My dad didn't have any sons. So that's it.
You know
My
what's
dad
interesting? Small side note on that, Betty. The last name of Dietz will likely die with me and my brothers. At least our generation of Dietzes. All three of us plan on having no kids. Now I say plan, but we'll see. This has upset my dad, and I've had to have conversations with him. Like, we don't want kids because we don't see the fucking necessity to have kids. And he goes, yeah, the thing that sucks though is that, like, the only one of my kids that had kids was my daughter, who took the guy's name. So they're not even Dietzes, they're Devaney's. I was like, yeah, I get that.
See, if
She also took
Elle
them
had
halfway
been
across the country too.
That's true.
if Elle had been a boy, she would have had the last name Ogletree because, Jeff already has a son with his last name. So we had already discussed that, if when I got pregnant, that if, we were having a boy, the boy would take my last name to keep that family name going. He's very secure in his masculinity. It didn't hurt him none at all. But she turned out to be a girl. So we were just like, okay, we'll give her Musser. But, she's there's a bond between my sisters and I that she sees, and she very much, it's kind of like a yaya sisterhood kind of thing. And, she's like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. And I'm like, honey, you are by birth, but, but I understand if you want the last name, when you
No,
turn
maybe
18,
this
willing to change
maybe
it, that's
this
up to
is
you.
maybe this is an idea that just scares the shit out of people like Tucker Carlson, but why do we hold on to this weird old tradition of like the woman taking the man's name? And I'm not saying this in regards of like the men should take the woman's name. Like, why do we even exchange names based on marriage? Because marriage itself is also an institution based in old customs and religion. So
I would say it's still a pass, like a holdover of, again, marriage in this country is very strongly, rooted around the Christian version of marriage. And that it's kind of like a form of ownership in a way. You're taking your husband's last name because now you're part of his family. You're having his kids. I mean, it wasn't until that, like within the past 150 years, that if you got a divorce, your husband took the kids. I mean, especially if you were wealthy, your husband got the kids. You didn't take the kids because you were mama. Well, like how it plays out a lot now in the courts. Your husband automatically got the kids because, bitch, I don't know what else to tell you. It's bad. I'm just like, oh, and it's this thing of, I see people talk about it and, they're like, oh, I just couldn't imagine using my maiden name when I got married. I'm like, why? You've used this name your entire life. Well, why? What is the big deal? I mean, it doesn't make our ties any less strong. It hasn't affected our marriage in any respect. Again, and the only reason to have a marriage in this country is for the fucking tax benefits. Let's be honest. I mean, it's so cheap to get married, but it's fucking hell to get divorced. I do not recommend it.
It should cost $10,000 to get married and $35 to get divorced instead of the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, I see people who go and spend that much money on their wedding day, and I'm like, oh.
So maybe
there's so many things I could do with that money. You're gonna regret this decision later down the road.
I want to ask that question now too, because I'm gonna be 38 next month, and I have no prospects of a partner in any time in the future. I have too much on my plate as it is. Why are there tax breaks for married couples in any regard? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why is it there? What is the reason behind it?
I can't explain it to you. I guess because they figure they're going to save money on welfare shit. I don't know.
It's not,
honestly,
you guys aren't like, married people aren't doing anything uniquely special.
No,
nothing
we're not.
That hasn't been done.
No. There's
it's
nothing
the same
unique about this.
It's the same
It's just
energy of like
paper.
people going like, my baby is a miracle. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's another person on this planet. You didn't do anything unique that women haven't done for the past fucking 10,000 years. Stop.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I don't understand. I do know that, it also affords you securities, which is one of the reasons, why, the gay community works so hard to push, the marriage laws, because, if you're not married and something happens to your significant other, there's a good chance that their family could come in and, just run right over top of you and make their own decisions about what happens to them when they're sick. And you can't come in and do anything. And that worries me. I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
Like, I love our advancement in medical science, but there are some fucking stupid things that they still do to this day. Like, if there are two people that are Commonwealth married, like they haven't had a ceremony, they haven't signed papers,
common law marriage,
yeah, they still like can't go into an emergency room with the partner if they deem it not like it hurts my brain. It fucking hurts my brain that that's a fucking thing we still deal with today.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, fortunately, Misty and I haven't had to deal with that. Even though we're not
You just lie.
legally married,
You just say you are.
we tell everybody we're married.
Yep. Nobody's going to question you. You know, and now they can't do it to gay couples, and I'm very grateful for that. I mean,
yeah,
you know, whether it's, I don't care who it is, if that's their significant other, that's their significant other, that's who they want in there with them, that's who they should be allowed to have in there with them. If somebody rides in with them and that's their, you know, they live with them, their domestic partners, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that's who they need to be with, because that's who they love. You know, it doesn't, it's so stupid. I mean, how people treat marriage. And I mean, like when they were talking about, you know, oh, gay marriage is going to ruin the institution of marriage. Y'all been doing that just fine as straight people for the whole past 2,000 years. So I don't want to hear the gay people coming in are going to ruin this shit, because y'all been ruining it by yourselves.
Yeah,
and it's like
whenever like a Trump supporter would sit there and be like, would say something about that in regard to be like, well, what about the guy that you voted for president who's been divorced 4 fucking times? He's not ruining the sanctity of marriage?
Yep. I mean, that again, that's exactly right. You know, I mean, I don't want to hear your bullshit. It's like, you know, well, how is my marriage affecting your marriage? It's not. I'm not in a fucking Christian marriage. My marriage was done by our best friend in our other best friend's front yard. Yeah, we got married by our best friend. He's a minister of the Universal Online Church, you know. So
I'm not gonna lie, like to me, the best like weddings or parties or anything in that regard are the ones that are like done in someone's backyard on a shoestring budget. Like,
yeah, that I mean, it wasn't even a shoestring.
They're more intimate. They're more intimate. They mean more. You know, it's not all pomp and circumstance. It's just two people celebrating what matters the most with the people that matter the most to them.
We didn't need a big wedding. You know, it was not a priority for either one of us. We'd already been married, both of us, before, and we were like, no, not a big deal, you know. And then 3 months later, we were pregnant. So
I also want to point out that the people who have the most meek weddings are the ones that usually have stronger relationships too.
Oh yeah, we tend to say that the more you spend on a marriage, the more likely you are to get divorced. You know, the more you spend on your wedding day. Yeah, and that's
just what I've noticed. Like my mom and dad, my mom was 8 months pregnant with me, and my dad was like, "Well, we should probably get married." And literally, like the house that my aunt lives in now, that when I go visit her, it's that fucking house. Like they just had the wedding there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was, you know, again, we stood in their front yard and they were there, and our friend married us, and then we went to Olive Garden, and then we came home, and it was business as usual. I mean, it was
like
all
when
good.
I talked to my dad, and I'm like, yeah, I've only been to like I think 3 funerals. Oh no, 4 weddings. And he goes, which weddings? I go, well, my sister's was the first, and then it was my friend Brian, and I was a groomsman. And then it was my buddy, what's his name? Justin, and I was a groomsman there too. And then it was Josh when I was the best man. Oh, and my buddy Andy, so it's 5. So I say 5, yeah. 5, I was just a guest. Sorry, with Andy. So I say that, and my dad goes, well, technically 6. I'm like, 6? And he's like, you were at your mom and I's wedding. I'm like, that doesn't fucking count. I was in the womb. I was not at her wedding. Stop it.
Well, it's like, fun fact, my parents, who, got divorced after like 3 years, they were teenagers, you know, so stupid. But they got married on March 4th, and that's the day that Lydia was born. And that was probably the first time they'd seen each other. The day she was born was the first time they'd probably seen each other since I was like 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, yeah, this is our wedding day. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it was really weird.
I bet that was fun, though. It's just like
it was.
just look at the uncomfortable levels of.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I
would
was
relish
drugged,
that.
so I mean, at that point, they had put me on Stadol, and then they given me my epidural, and it had taken on one side and not the other, and I was having everybody feel my feet because one foot was really hot and one foot was really cold. I mean, I was drugged out of my mind. I was like, y'all can't give me any more stuff. I don't like this. It was so bad. And there's my parents, and I'm like, wow, how long's it been since y'all seen each other? It was a very surreal day. And my gynecologist looks like my husband's brother, so that even got a little more weird, So it's a very strange experience.
Yeah, I imagine.
Hey,
my dog
at
is
least he
howling.
doesn't. At least the gynecologist doesn't look like Jeff.
Well, no, he does. He does. I mean, the
Oh.
first time they met, they were like, it's kind of weird because they do look so much alike. They have the same mannerisms and everything. And I was like, because he got recommended to me by a friend, and I was like, you realize he looks like Jeff, right? And she's like, no. I was like, yeah, I can tell you, yeah. But he's a good doctor, so I've kept him. I've had him for 20 years now. I mean, he's a good doctor, so I can't, I'm not going to leave him. But it still cracks me up every time I walk into that office and he comes in. I'm just like, hey, brother-in-law. It's weird.
That's awesome.
So a slight shift again, because I have to ask you guys a question. Have you ever heard of the movie called The Pest?
Yeah.
Test
With
with
John Leguizamo?
Leguizamo.
Okay. You wouldn't
I've never
believe
watched
how
it.
many people haven't.
You haven't watched it?
No.
I have.
I like John Leguizamo, but that was just. I saw the trailer for it and I was like, nope.
It's badly funny. It really is. It's kind of like Pecker. I don't know if you've ever seen Pecker, but that's a funny one too.
Oh, I'm familiar. With
No.
I
Pecker.
like Pecker. Yeah, so yeah, you should look that
There
one up,
you go
Greg.
again.
I recently caught the reason I was asking this question is because I recently caught my dad passed out while it was on like TBS or some fucking station that he was watching, and they just were playing The Pest, like it was just on, and I was like, this fucking movie, because it's the thing, it's not a good movie, just to be clear, and the plot is fucking wacko too, like it is weird. Just by the synopsis on IMDb, just to give you an idea, if you've never heard of this movie, a Miami con artist agrees to be the human target for a neo-Nazi manhunter in order to collect $50,000 if he survives. I'm sorry. You want to run that by me again? Because the fuck did I just read?
So basically, a moron says, 50 grand, but I got to survive this hitman. Okay.
He does
Yeah,
a really
it's
good
like,
job of playing an idiot.
Yeah, I'll give him that. The part about the movie that's so nuts to me is that there is an opening number. Betty, do you remember the opening number, like the musical
Right,
bit?
song
to the
and
very beginning of the
dance?
movie?
No, it's
A
been
little
a
bit of a song
long
and dance.
time. I don't think I've
So
seen it since probably it came out on video because it's been that long. So
let me set the scene. Let me set the scene for you because this is hilarious. An aerial shot of Miami. It flies down in. It goes through this neighborhood and it goes into the house of the family that John Leguizamo was a part of. And they're all waiting for him to get out of the shower. So he then starts to do a rap. Call it a rap. But this is a real song that they sold. You could have bought either with the soundtrack or separately, like I guess in MP3 form. I have the lyrics here, and if you'll indulge me, we're going to run through them because Wow.
Oh no.
The song is called The Pest, and then in parentheses, Voodoo Mambo.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's all coming back now, huh?
Oh
So,
yeah.
now for the sake
I'm
like
I'm
this going
regretting all
on.
my life decisions all of a sudden.
What led
for
you
the
to
sake
this
of-
moment?
For the agreeing to be on this podcast with me. For the sake of DCMA, I'm not going to play any music from it, but I do want to read the lyrics because they are hilarious. Like, it's hilarious because it's bad, because it also makes no fucking sense. It is absolute gibberish. But here we go. So I like to party with my peeps, cruising in creep, playing 3-card Monte on these crazy streets. Straight hustler, I'm gonna scam in a minute. So low to the floor, pick the pocket on a midget. Yikes. Slick shyster, the pestmeister, living in the Miami's vice, and then in a Bugsy, not Bugsy, I almost said Bugsy Mogs.
Muggsy Bogues.
Like, yeah, like old 50s gangster type voice.
Bugsy Malone.
Bugsy Malone, thank you. He says, "Man, see, nobody messing with the frog. See, the fucking what frog? What the fuck are you talking about there, John?" And then he says, "Where's your Messiah now?" And then does he has like boxers on his head that kind of look like a pharaoh's headdress, and he does the he does that for a second. And then he says,
The whole walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then he says in his best, the original actor on the movie Flubber, long time ago, Jerry Lewis.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Jerry Lewis.
He does his best Jerry Lewis and says, "Nice lady, I'm hurting. I'm sexy, but I'm hurting." Then he says, "All right, already." Then he says, now here's the lyric that's my favorite. "I'm ridiculous, like a booger, I stick to this. Take one whiff of this." And then in a Count Dracula, or I guess in this case it'd be the Count from Sesame Street. "One stinky dinky, ah ha ha. Two stinky dinky, ah ha ha." So, as you can tell, lyrical genius. It doesn't stop being weird. It does not stop being weird. The opening lyrics, here's the thing, the opening lyrics kind of give you an idea of what he does, but not really at the same time. You're like, okay, so he's a con man.
I get a good idea. He's an idiot. And I will never, ever, ever watch that movie.
Well, wasn't this
Ever.
very early in his career? I mean, he
Very
still
early.
wasn't. Yeah,
I
he
mean, it
still
was
wasn't
post
at-
Luigi, so he had already made bad decisions.
It's post Luigi. It's post Luigi. All right,
Was
I'll
it
go to his
before or
IMDb 'cause,
after? Was it before or after Tu Wong Fu?
I believe it was
Right
after
around
2
the
months.
same-
So,
Right around the same time.
Because he was
So
good
that
in
was-
that movie.
so The Pest came out in '94. His best, or not best, his biggest like role before The Pest was because he was doing a lot of bit
Luigi.
parts, a lot of small parts. Yeah, it was Luigi. It was Luigi. And then it was Carlito's Way. It was a big.
Mhm.
He was had a pretty big role in that. Then he did
good
Tu
at
Wong Fu. He was in Romeo and Juliet. I forgot about that.
Mhm.
And then it
He
was
was
The Pest.
Tybalt.
Yep.
So-
Tybalt.
So he went from like
Yeah,
Carlito's
it's
Way
like
to
he had
Wong
had
Fu.
some good Romeo and Juliet. The Pest.
That's
You think
so
you would
fucking
learn
funny.
after being Luigi, don't take shit roles, but
No.
he had to have
Well-
owed somebody a favor.
And then he played
So-
a dwarf in Moulin Rouge, which
Yeah.
really that could have gone to an actual dwarf, but okay. I mean, he is short, but he's not that short,
So the lyrics continue, and you're gonna hate me.
No.
I promise. Yeah. Oh no, they do. They're
Oh.
hilarious.
Please.
So it does the chorus.
They've not been
which is
so
just,
far.
No, they have not, but it's funny. So he gets out of the shower at this point. He goes to his bedroom, and he says, "Mirror, mirror on." No, this is still in the bathroom. My bad. He says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the sickest, slickest of them all? It's the schemingest, because that's a word. Keenest scam artist. God, it's so hard to be modest." Then here comes some gibberish lyrics. "Jack might be nimble, but I'm a sex symbol. So slick, I stole the wick from his candlestick."
It sounds like a Bo Burnham wannabe song.
Yeah. And then he says, "I'm in the mood to scam simply because I can," in a weird, goofy accent that I could not discern where it was from. He then says, "I'm a Latin Houdini, disappear in a flash with your cash, and I'm back like a genie." Then he does his best Desi Arnaz and says, "Hey Lucy, I'm home. Don't do that to me, Lucy." Then says, "Freak to the east, freak to the west," and then puts on like a bra with some balloons behind it or some shit, like a 5-year-old does to say they have boobs. And he says, "Great big boobies with a big chest." Sorry, booties with a big chest. Then yes, y'all, it's like that. Then he does his curly. Why certainly, yuck, yuck, yuck. Get stupid, get retarded, because the pest will get the party started. 97, folks, just to clarify. Then he says, "Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? Funkadocious, groovalicious, atrocious." Oh, this whole song is. What a maroon, what a maroon, what a freak, what a sucker butt. I'm sorry, the fuck?
What?
"I'm a man of a million disguises. I'm as crazy as they make them, shake them or bake them. So scientific, hate to be specific. E equals MC squared. You sit there, multiply, divide it, slide up inside it." Wow, that got dirty real quick. "Blend it, mix it. Damn, I'm terrific." That's the end of the song.
I think they fucking slide up inside it and wrote the song around that for the payoff. And they said, "How can we link this?" And they just failed spectacularly after every other line that they penned. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
What did it get? Well, how many stars did it get on IMDb?
It's a 5 out of 10.
Oh, wow. It even got that high? I'm surprised.
What's
Yeah,
its Rotten Tomatoes rating? Because it's definitely fucking rotten.
Rotten Tomatoes for The Pest. Let's see here. Drum roll, please.
Oh, wow.
8%. Wow.
Wow.
But the audience score was 68.
Yeah,
Well,
68%.
What year did that come out?
97.
Yeah, so we're talking about the same era of oh god.
So critics
Animal
consensus.
Detective, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. You know, I think John Leguizamo was trying to be trying to become a more comedy actor, and it just never really settled.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to put it.
The critics' consensus: The Pest aims for zany comedy with social commentary, misses, and lands squarely at offensive misfire thanks to John Leguizamo's over-caffeinated performance and a script laden with stereotypes.
That is very true.
I want to see who had the worst.
So bad.
I want to see who had the worst rating of it.
Oh, it's awful.
God, it's so funny.
It's not funny. It's terrible. Why did you bring it up? What did I do?
Because that's the thing about me, Maya. You have to understand, like, I love bad cinema. I fucking love bad cinema.
Oh, shit,
like,
yeah.
It's so fucking funny every
I
time. That's
enjoy bad cinema, but there are some train wrecks that should set on fire, have a bunch of tires thrown on said fire, and walked away from.
What? Tell me about these train wrecks, Maya. Tell me about some of these train wrecks. What are some train wrecks that need to be set on fire?
I mean, this one is one, obviously.
I disagree.
Ugh, I'm telling you, phew,
No,
I don't know.
it's like I think you might get more enjoyment out of it, Maya, if like Mystery Science Theater did a whole episode with the pest.
Oh no, that I'd be down to watch, but by itself, I don't want to watch it.
No,
Have
no,
y'all seen
I-
The Jerk? Have you seen The Jerk?
Oh,
Steve
that's
Martin?
the thing. I love the jerk.
I love,
I love
The Jerk.
I have a special purpose. I have a special purpose.
I was born a poor black boy.
I love the line of you mean I'm gonna be this
that
color for the rest of my life?
I
Fucking line is so good.
love
That
Steve
movie
Martin.
was so fucking funny.
No, like when I was, because when that movie came out, I was 14, 15, somewhere in there. And
The jerk.
I thought it was hilarious. No, the pest.
No, he wasn't even
Oh.
born when The Jerk came out.
No, I think the jerk was like what, 70?
81. I was thinking it was
Uh,
81.
I think it was
The-
79 to 81, somewhere around then.
79.
Oh,
Specifically December 14th, 1979.
I was born. I was 3 months old.
But yeah, like so yeah, the
my
pest
brother was born.
the pest came out when I was an idiot.
As
Oh,
all
Space
teenagers
Jam.
are.
You know what? Roughly, yeah, I think Space Jam was 95.
Yeah,
But yeah, more or less like 96. Space Jam was a year before the pest.
well,
I'm just-
say no
I'm
more,
just
say no
curious.
more.
Top grossing films of 1997.
Independence Day.
We had Titanic, Liar
Oh,
Liar,
Titanic.
the Lost World Jurassic Park, Men in Black, Air Force One. Get off my goddamn plane. Tomorrow Never Dies, My Best Friend's Wedding, Face Off, As Good as It Gets, The Fifth Element, and The Full
Love that
Monty.
movie. I love As Good as It Gets.
I think I've seen that movie once in my life. I've
That's
seen every
great.
movie on this list, but
Great movie.
yeah, Men in Black was probably the biggest one for me in 97.
I
mean,
did
I had this
not watch
list-
Titanic until 1999. So
Did
I
I ever tell you
avoided
guys that-
that whole mess.
Did I ever tell you guys the story of going to the theater to see Titanic?
How old were you?
In 97, I was born in 83, so 15?
14.
Oh, wow.
14 or 15, yeah.
I'm so sorry. You sat through the Titanic in a theater.
I did too, and
So-
I got the shit beat out of me.
You what?
Wait, what?
Well, not like I did too, but I didn't get the shit beat out of me. I got smacked by several women that were surrounding me who were crying when the boat was sinking.
Oh.
And
Uh,
I was laughing at the people that were bouncing off the railings as they were falling and plummeting to their icy cold deaths. And then,
So
you know,
that's,
I hated
that's
the
why-
movie. I was talking shit about. I was like, she could let him up on that door or that bed frame or whatever it is.
It was
There's
a door.
I thought it was a door.
Yeah, it was a door. There
When-
was totally room. It totally could have kept them both afloat. And yeah, I made a meme that was like on the top of I Can Have Cheeseburger for a minute back in the day. That was a cat.
Wow, that fucking
two
website,
cats.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's two cats on this cat tree, and one was falling, and the other one had its paw over the thing, And I was like, I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. Oops. I mean, because it was so stupid. And I have been a big fan of the Titanic since I was a little kid because
Mhm.
National Geographic, and we had a subscription to that and all the documentaries that
Yeah.
would come on the History Channel and stuff. And when they found it, and I was like, oh, and then I saw what it was, and I was like, no, I don't want to watch this. So I just avoided it at every chance I could get. I had no desire to go spend 3 hours to watch a steamy love story that literally tanks.
So
I
I
mean,
genuinely didn't know that it was a big old love story until I went and saw it. It was just
I'm
such a
so
big
sorry.
cultural it was such a big cultural like milestone for cinema because everyone was talking about it. It was on everyone's fucking to-do list. Like my mom and dad wanted to see it, so we went to the theater. I remember waiting in line. We stood in line to see this fucking movie, just FYI. And my brother and I are standing there, and we're talking about how excited we are to see how they portray the ship sinking. And this girl behind us just goes, "Thanks for ruining the movie." And Josh and I turn around and we're like, "You don't know what happened to the Titanic? You know this is a real story, right?"
Oh God.
Yeah, there was
So,
a lot of that going on back then. It's like I remember when the Blair Witch Project came out, people were like, "Oh, this is real." It's like, no, it's not.
I would fuck with people about the Blair Witch. I was like, "Oh, you haven't heard about the Blair Witch? I've been, following that legend for years, and just get them to believe shit, hook, line, and sinker." What's funny is where they filmed it in that town in Maryland. It's not far from where some friends of mine live. So the next time I go up that way, I'm totally going to that town.
I didn't even get a chance to watch that movie because how it's filmed
Mm-hmm.
and the way my vision is. I get sick playing Minecraft. I was like 10 minutes in, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna vomit. I gotta go. So I've never seen more than clips of that movie like on YouTube and shit because it was
It's a damn shame. It's
I
a damn
know.
shame because that movie actually is really good.
it's well done. Yeah.
I was like, I've never seen Cloverfield either. So
I love Cloverfield.
yeah,
same here.
no live action movie. It's like if I watch people who do like the urban exploring and stuff, which I love, I have to stop after a certain amount of time because I will start getting sick if they don't have like really good camera systems. If they're really shaky, I start getting really nauseous real easy. My brain is like, "What are you doing, Betty? This isn't matching up, Betty." So just you win. We're gonna stop now.
I fully fell into the Blair Witch Project being a true story, like 100%. Again, I was young. Oh yeah, I was dumb. And I still remember the moment that because other people had said, no, it's fake, it's not real. And I was like, no, they've advertised it as real. Like it's totally real. And the moment for me that I went, oh, it's fake. Got it. Was when the actors walked out on stage at the MTV Awards.
Yeah. If they wanted to sell it for longer, they shouldn't have let the actors go to anything.
Yeah.
But the internet was around back then. And it's like I had a couple of people. I was like, look this shit up because it's not real. It's not real. So I mean, they couldn't keep it under wraps for too long because at that point in time, the internet was becoming more of a thing and people were talking and shit gets around.
We didn't even have a computer in this house until I want to say 2003. I don't believe we had one in 99. I could be totally fucking wrong and just not remembering, but I remember still having to go to the library to get cheat codes for games on the internet.
We had one in 93.
But I did download I remember in the past, like on the old PC, downloading a lot of porn off of LimeWire. My mom found out about it and was furious. Not because we were watching porn, but because we were downloading like porn of girls our age. We didn't realize was, kiddie porn.
Yeah.
She was like, fucking memory wipe.
Is it? Here's the thing.
Well, it is, but it's not
No.
if he's watching it at 15. Okay.
If you're the same age, is it really that? Because if you're
It's
the same
not.
age, I think it's okay. No, I'm just playing. I know it's still.
I mean,
gross.
it's like, when but honestly, you've seen where they've tried to charge 15-year-old girls who have sent new pictures to their 15-year-old boyfriends for,
Mhm.
I'm like, no, they're 15. What are you doing? This is when you smack them on the butt and send them to the room and ground them for 3 months.
And take their fucking phone away.
Yeah, take their phone away. Make them work at the soup kitchen for a while. I mean,
So I want to do a little thing real quick. What year, Maya, were you 15?
1991.
Top grossing movies of 1991.
Here is information from Wikipedia.
Thank you. Nope, got it. Shut the fuck up. There's a few movies in here. Here we go. Thank you, Box Office Mojo. I appreciate your help. So we have, wow. The number one was Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Fantastic
ooh,
movie.
that's a good one.
Saw it in the theater.
Number 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time, and that's no, I take that back. I misread it. It's not one of my favorite movies. But Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I thought it said Men in Tights, and I got real excited.
I love both.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's just not one of my favorite movies. I just want to clarify that part.
I mean, I
liked
haven't
it.
watched it. I haven't watched it in a while, but I really enjoyed it the several times I watched it in the past. Men in Tights was 93, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's again, I don't dislike Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's not one of my favorite movies. That also being said,
I know.
Excellent movie for 91, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hole in my sock that I just discovered. That sucks. Anyway, number 3, Home Alone, which I forgot was 91. Number 4, Silence of the Lambs.
Saw Home Alone in the theater too. Didn't see Silence of the Lambs. Had no interest in it at the time.
Number 5, City Slickers. I remember seeing that in the theater.
Oh, that was a cute movie.
I saw it on
right.
video. I didn't see it in the theater.
Number 6, Dances with Wolves. Still have never seen that movie.
Yeah, you're not
Still
missing
never
much.
seen it.
Number 7, Sleeping with the Enemy. I don't even remember that movie.
You should watch that.
Number 8, The Addams Family.
Loved it. Still love it. Still will
Yes.
watch it to this day.
Absolutely.
Number 9, Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. Hilarious. And number 10,
doesn't hold up.
Number 10, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Saw that in the theater. I saw a
There's a few
majority
other
of those
movies
in the
that-
theater.
There's a few other movies on here that are great. Backdraft. I love Hot Shots. It's a great
Backdraft.
charity movie.
Hot Shots was funny as hell.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast, still a solid movie.
Yeah.
Disney movie, at least.
The live action
Hook.
version, not so much. Hook was
Hook
awesome.
was number... fucking, I can't believe Hook was that low on the list.
There was a lot of stuff that came out that year.
There was, yeah.
Kindergarten Cop
Boys in
was
the
actually
Hood.
pretty funny. Oh, I love Boys in the Hood, man.
The Rocketeer. Thelma and Louise.
Under-
Point Break.
Thelma and Louise.
Love
Oh,
Point Break.
the next movie, if you don't cry at this movie, I don't think you're human. My Girl.
I laughed when Thomas J got stung.
You're not human.
It's like, you're allergic to bees. No, I got sad. I didn't cry.
Here's
but I
one
was
of here's one of the worst sequels ever to be made, and I stand by that. The Godfather Part 3.
sad. You know what? I actually enjoy that one. Is it as good as 1 or 2? God, no. But it's not horrible.
If you are
don't
comparing
think-
Godfather Part 3 to other fucking movies that have mobsters and stuff, I'll agree with you. It's not that bad. But when you compare it to Godfather 1 and 2, it's atrocious.
Oh, it's a fart in the wind compared to the other two. I agree.
Yeah. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Ugh.
Edward Scissorhands.
Ugh.
That did terrible in the theaters. Father of the Bride.
I love Edward Scissorhands.
Never seen it. Never had the
it's
desire
40
to see it. I'm
it
not
only
a
did
Tim Burton fan.
32.
We know.
Just throwing it out there
Misery.
again.
Misery came out in 91.
Misery was good.
Misery was
Uh,
hilarious.
JFK. House Party 2. 3 Men and a
Oh.
Little Lady.
All right. So
Yeah. But okay, so now let's do Betty's
clearly,
year of
15-year-old
15.
me. Clearly, 15-year-old me had better taste in films than 15-year-old Greg.
Well, I didn't have what the fuck? Betty, what year were you 15?
1994.
94. All right. Ooh, this is a good year. This is a good year for movies.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
yeah, here we go. So number 1 was Lion King.
Seen that movie many, many times.
Many times. Many times. The fucking the live action remake they did is garbage.
I haven't seen that, but you know, my little sister was she was 5 that year. So we also had it on video until I moved out at 18. Yeah, I had to rewind that video and watch it over and over again many times, along with Aladdin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Aladdin and Lion King were the ones that we watched the most. Number 2, I still love this movie. People have said it's problematic. I don't know how, but Forrest Gump.
Oh,
Yeah, saw that one in theaters, just me and my family up in Chicago. We'd gone up there to visit, and it had already been out for like half a year at that point. So we went to the mall, and nobody else was there, so we got the theater to ourselves. It was really awesome.
when I was living in South Carolina at the time, and I hadn't seen it yet, but I'd heard a lot of good things about it. And there was this theater, it's a dollar theater. They had movies for it had been out 8-9 months at that point. It was already out on home video, and I was just like, I could pay $3 to rent it or $1 to watch it. And I was like, I'll pay $1 to watch it. And then I spent $5 on popcorn and soda. So it would have been cheaper to rent it. But I didn't care. I love that movie. I love
was
Forrest
good.
Gump.
Yeah. No, it's so
They
good.
really
you ever
sugarcoated
read
it
the
for the book. Yeah, the book is completely different than the movie.
Oh, I've never read
Did
the book,
you
no.
read?
I've heard it's different.
Did you read the sequel, Gump and Company?
No.
Oh wow.
Is it bad?
He basically opened it up. Well, they made a movie of my life with that Tom Hanks fella, and I didn't like it. It's like how it opens up.
So I can assume the author was not happy with the movie.
Oh,
Probably
Winston Grimm, no,
not.
he hated the movie.
Because it was nothing
Hated
like
what
the
they
book.
did.
That's
If you
funny.
go to a Bubba Gump restaurant, they will quiz you on the movie. It's like a thing they do there. I'm like, this isn't, nah, man.
It's not necessary, y'all. I came to
I
the
just
restaurant
wanna
because I
eat
wanted
some-
shrimp and
Challenge accepted.
I mean, yeah, we know all the answers. It's like, yeah, we've been here so many times at this point, man. Y'all, it just let it go. Just no, move on. Find fresh faces, you know.
number 3 is probably
I would
my
be like-
favorite sports-
I'd go into a Bubba Gump. Sorry, before you get to number 3, I'd go to a Bubba Gump.
ahead,
Like,
go
did y'all catch him shrimps in a really big shrimp boat?
You would.
Fucking go in there. and
What
be
was
like,
number 3?
Yell at somebody, be like, "I got no leg, Lieutenant Dan."
I got
number
one.
3 is probably my favorite Schwarzenegger movie. which
Isn't
a
True
lot of
Lies
people are just like, really?
Lies.
That's your. Yep. Yep.
It's good.
It's
Which one?
really good. True Lies.
Oh yeah, that was a great movie. Yeah.
I still to this day fucking love his the final like badass action movie line in that movie. You're fired. It's great. It's fucking great. Number 4 is the Santa Claus, where Tim Allen kills Santa.
I've seen that
Certain-
movie way too many times
I've
too,
never-
because it's one
I've
of my
never
dad's
seen it.
favorites.
I've never seen it. He actually kills Santa.
Mhm.
No, he doesn't himself kill Santa per
Well,
se,
yeah,
but
he's
he
not
comes
like,
outside.
AK-47 in his ass. Yeah.
Right. No, he comes outside and he scares him, to which he slips off the roof and falls and dies. And then he was like, hey, this dead man's coat, let me go and put it on. Oops, now I'm Santa. It's weird.
And he gets fat as the year progresses, as it gets closer to Christmas. He gets really fat and he starts growing a white beard. And yeah, my dad loved this movie. And as much as a toddler
was
will
number
watch
4.
The Lion King on repeat, a 40-year-old man will watch Santa Claus on repeat just as much. So I have not watched that movie since I left home at 18, and I'm okay with that.
Never seen it, and I'm totally okay with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Number 5, however, is interesting because I don't think it's inherently a bad movie, but the Flintstones, the live action
that
Flintstones.
was
I like the second one better. The first one's okay. It wasn't great, but the second one's superior in every way. Viva La Rock Vegas.
Right. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember either movie well enough to be like it's bad or good. I just
It was a
remember-
prequel. It was a prequel.
We saw it in the drive-in. I remember that. We saw it in the drive-in as a family. And then that was it. I don't think we ever desired to rent it again or watched again. It just kind of happened and that was it. Whereas other movies I've seen Forrest Gump, I can't count how many fucking times.
Do you know I found out Jeff's never seen Schindler's List? Have y'all seen Schindler's List?
Yes.
Never watched it.
Oh wow. That's
long ass time ago.
Oh man, I've seen that movie several times and it breaks my heart every fucking time.
Oh yeah. It's
But
a sad
yeah, I
fucking
can't
movie.
believe that Jeff's never watched it. I was like, seriously? Because I mean, this is going to be something that I'll be introducing to Lydia within the next year as part of kind of, the history curriculum, because it's a very poignant telling of, what happened during the Holocaust. And, it's very raw. It kind of has to be, but I'm just kind of surprised that some people haven't seen it by now. I'm just like, I thought everybody had seen this movie, kind of like Titanic. I thought everybody had seen Titanic, but not everybody,
I think I had to watch, or our history teacher had us watch Schindler's List at one point, or it was she did that for the sake of the substitute teacher. It might have been something like that. I know that I saw it in school though. That's the first time I ever saw it. Number 6 is Clear and Present Danger, which is one of the
Great
Tom Clancy
movie.
movies.
It's about
I think
Jack
that's
Ryan.
I was like, I think it was one of the first Jack
Yeah.
Ryan movies.
It was the third, actually. The Hunt for
Okay.
Red
Red
October was
October.
first, and that was Alec Baldwin as him. And then there was Patriot Games in '92, which was Harrison
Patriot
Ford.
Games. That's right.
And then Clear and Present Danger.
I've read those books. It's kind of
Have you
my
watched?
my
The, have
typical
you watched
thing.
the Jack Ryan series on Amazon?
I have not.
Prime?
I mean, I've considered it, but
They're good. It's
I
good.
read those
very
books
good.
when I was married to my first husband.
Oh, so
He was a military dude. Yeah.
Well, John
Good foot
Krasinski
on your
played
side.
him in this, and if you decide to get around to it, I do recommend it. But I totally
Yeah, the books
understand
were
if you don't
good.
want to. Oh yeah, I love the Clancy books.
I mean, for
number
something I'm not
7
really into.
Yeah. Fair.
Number 7.
Speed.
This is great for its
I-
time.
I think this movie is it has been one of those movies that when it came out, it was great and everyone loved it and no one talked shit about it. They were just like, it was awesome. It was fun. And now you go back and you watch it and it is aged like fucking sour milk, but I love
Yeah.
it for that. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, for its time, it was awesome. Watching it again, ooh, and Speed 2, don't even.
Oh, Speed 2 is terrible. I will say this. Speed has one of my favorite memories because when it came to TV, they had to cut out some of the cussing. Namely, when Keanu Reeves calls, is it Dennis Hopper is the villain?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He calls Dennis Hopper an asshole. He's like, you asshole, or something like that. It's towards the end of the movie. But they had to edit it, and they changed it to animal. But it was so like they didn't even try to match it up. They were just like, fuck it, just put it in there, just cover it up. So it was like, you animal. And I was not fucking expecting it. My brother and I just lost our shit. So for years, we would just be like, you animal, and just fucking crack each other up. Probably like, I would say 97, 98 when we saw that on TV.
Oh,
But I'll never fucking forget that. It was so good. Number 8 is The Mask. I still love The Mask. Like, fucking.
I never liked it.
Really?
Mm-mm.
It's interesting.
I didn't like Ace Ventura either.
You are weird.
Well, yeah.
Ace Ventura, the first Ace Ventura, very problematic for a good number of reasons.
Yeah.
But at the time, it wasn't. At the time, nobody thought that was problematic. But Lindsay Ellis did a whole like hour-long video on transphobia in media. And
it's rampant.
Yeah. Like, I knew it was there, but there were some movies that I was like, I didn't even fucking think of that one. Ace Ventura was one of them that I did, obviously, because, I mean, it's a primary part of the movie. But there were a few I just didn't think of in regards to that. And I was like, holy shit, yeah, like, it totally is.
Different times, man.
But we did watch Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls, a hell of a lot more than we did the first one as kids. So I don't know if that means anything, but no, I liked The Mask because the animation to it I really enjoyed that. Like, even as a kid, like, these movies came out when I was 11, so
yeah,
I'm like, ooh, cartoon. But that was also something that was really funny to me was they made Ace Ventura, which was very much an adult movie for a lot of reasons. And The Mask was also kind of adult, less so. They made both of those into cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons, that also at times would merge into like one episode.
Dude, they made Rambo First Blood Part 2. They made a Rambo cartoon series in 1986. So they made a RoboCop cartoon series in 1987.
Oh yeah,
88.
Fucking RoboCop.
If it's
what the fuck,
dude. So yeah, they're like, kids, you shouldn't watch these movies, but here, let's give you a cartoon about it.
Fucking weird. Absolutely weird. Number 9, Mrs.
80s,
Doubtfire.
man.
Still a fucking great movie. Mrs. Doubtfire is fantastic.
I agree.
I
I think it's a good movie.
And number 10 for 94 is Interview with a Vampire, which I haven't seen that in fucking years, but I imagine it's still good.
Yeah, that was. I think it was good. I'm an Anne Rice fan though, so I would like to see them do the Mayflower Witches. I think they could do an amazing job with the Mayflower Witch series, but nobody's picked it up.
Some of the other top grossing movies below top 10 for 94 were Schindler's List, Philadelphia, Stargate, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Star Trek Generations, Pulp Fiction, Grumpy Old Men, Dumb and Dumber, Four Weddings and a Funeral.
I love Grumpy Old Men. Pulp Fiction I love, but I also love Grumpy Old Men.
That was like fucking like old man Odd Couple.
Well, it was Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau who were the odd couple.
Odd Couple.
They They
Right.
actually made a sequel to The Odd Couple like 30 years after they made the original, The Odd Couple 2, in like 1997 or 8. So, I mean, and then they did Grumpier Old Men, which was
Yeah.
Burgess Meredith's last movie.
Oh yeah,
But
that's right.
I enjoyed those two movies, The Grumpy Old Men's.
Let's see what else was there. Naked Gun 33 and a third,
Hmm.
which was starred O.J. Simpson, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Yeah, he
OJ's
was in
last
that.
movie.
Yep.
The Crow. The Crow came out in '94. I forgot that.
My favorite movie of all time.
It's a good movie.
That is my favorite movie of all time, my favorite comic of all time. Actually, fuck it. If you camera pan overlook the laundry basket, right
wow.
there, that is a signed framed print by James O'Barr, the creator of The Crow.
Wow.
Gives a birthday present in 2014. Surprise birthday present from a couple of friends who went to a Comic-Con, and he was there. So
Lux.
yeah, I love it. That is the second coolest thing in this room. And my room has a lot of cool things, but that is the second coolest thing in this room.
The second coolest.
So that's
thing. I'm
your
gonna delete
favorite
that
movie?
What, Greg?
I was going to delete the fucking lyrics to the past off my phone now.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you say though? You were.
Is that your favorite movie?
Oh yeah.
What's your
Favorite
favorite
movie
movie, Greg?
For a long time, it was The Matrix. And then that changed to Empire Strikes Back for a long fucking time. But it's kind of hard to say which is my favorite movie because it depends on like which movie I've probably watched the most, which movie do I know the most. It's really, really hard to say. I would say that
Empire was my favorite. I was gonna say, like you, Empire was my favorite for a long time until I saw The Crow. But carry on.
it's really funny that The Crow is your favorite movie because I view The Crow like you do Space Jam, straight up. I wish.
I
was
mean, we can't all be perfect like me.
different. Well put, ass. Oh God, like some of my favorite movies of all time, Betty, are the original, the first Ninja Turtles movie, Ghostbusters, Aladdin, a movie that nobody ever fucking talks about, but I watched 100 fucking times that I still love to this day is Pleasantville.
Ooh, I always enjoyed that.
I don't know why that movie stuck with me, but it really did fucking stay. Like it's stuck like fucking gum on hair. Not the best analogy, Greg. God, it's really hard to say like what my favorite movie is. I've never really put a whole lot of context. Like when The Matrix was my favorite movie, it was like that's when I started getting into sci-fi quite a bit, and then I got into Star Wars and Star Trek, and the rabbit hole continued. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. Like, there's movies that I could watch any point of the day. I guess a movie that I really love that I've watched 100 fucking times that I don't even know if you could qualify it as my favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption.
I love
I watched that
Shawshank.
watched that 100 fucking times.
Highly underrated. I mean, it did so poorly at the box office too, and then all of a sudden people discovered it on like TNT or HBO or however they saw it, and they're just like, "Holy shit, this movie's phenomenal!"
Yeah, like I'm looking
Betty,
at all the
your
stuff that I
favorite-
have in my room, but
Betty, can you hear us? You're muted.
hello.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Huh. My favorite movie is Fried Green Tomatoes.
I watched it last week.
Yeah, I love that movie. I watch it at least once a year. Uh, it's
love
my
it.
go-to comfort movie. You know, it's like the Whistle Stop Cafe, and you know, the just everything about that movie. I just love it. You know, and yeah, it's definitely my comfort go-to movie. But you know, there are other good ones that you know have a very high ranking in my heart, like "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" I love that movie.
Movies.
Yes.
What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams when his
Mm-hmm.
wife committed suicide. That was such a beautiful, beautiful movie, and I love that movie. It just spoke to me, and you know, after what happened to Robin Williams, it just does even more. You know, it's just like, oh, my heart. And I think one that just really grabbed my attention and just will never leave my mind, though I don't really want to watch it over and over again, is Perfume, the story of a murderer. It's a freaky little movie and I fucking love it, but man, it fucked with my brain really hardcore. I did not know how to feel about that movie after I got done watching it because I was really into essential oils at the time. And then I watched this movie and I was like, yeah, I don't think I can do this anymore. It just
I have no idea what that movie is
it's
about.
that weird. It's that freaky. I was like, yeah, I'm done. You know, it's no, that was it. But definitely I'd recommend everybody that I know should watch that movie just one time because it's fabulous. It's a dark little piece, but it's brilliantly done. Very much in the same kind of dark vein as I Care a Lot. That's how I kind of feel like it's in that very dark. You don't like any of these fucking characters. You don't. You fucking hate them all, but man, it was fantastic. You know? It was really good.
I've seen plenty of movies that are like that. Yeah, it's like I don't know why I don't have a favorite movie. I really don't know why. Like everyone can always pinpoint one, but
you don't have a favorite movie. You don't seek out music actively. You're an enigma.
No, what I used to do back in the day is I would go to Hollywood Video because that's what we had. We didn't have a Blockbuster account. And I would go to the aisle that was comedy, and I would just look for comedies, and I'd rent like 5 fucking comedies, and I would just watch those. And somebody would be like, well, what about like this new movie that came out that was like a drama or something? I'm like, I don't want to watch that. That's boring. And I always go for comedies. Comedies or sci-fi was pretty much, and if it was a combo of comedy and sci-fi, I was 100% in. But I can't think of any of them off the top of my head. Like one of my favorite, I guess you could argue that my favorite movie of all time is Spaceballs.
Ha!
I guess you could argue that. I don't know that I could myself, but I do fucking love Mel Brooks a lot. You want to watch a Mel Brooks movie? I'll watch a Mel Brooks movie with you.
I totally get that.
I mean, at fucking one time, my favorite movie was Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2.
My sister likes those movies. Well, one of my sisters.
I love those.
My aunt just watched Gone with the Wind a couple weeks ago. Have y'all seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Once and never again.
Once, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big popular hit in my family, and I can't fucking stand it. I think the only redeeming character in that movie was Belle, the whore from Atlanta. She was the only person I liked in that movie. You know, that was white.
Absolutely.
Every other white person could go fuck themselves in that movie. I hated it. 3 hours of hell.
Yeah.
No.
I remember watching it. A friend of mine said, watch this. I want you to watch this. It's my favorite movie ever. And I watched it, and I was like, this is your favorite movie ever? She's like, yeah, what did you think? I was like, I thought it was dog shit. I said it was 3.5 hours of glorifying the plantation South, the antebellum South, and I don't think it has a place in today's society. And everybody in it was a horrible person, that was white except for the whore.
Yep.
She got
You know
mad
what
at
movie-
me for saying that.
You know what movie is similar in regards to that? Like, I don't think everyone always talks it up and says it's a great fucking movie, but I think as for today's standards, it's garbage. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on the name of it.
Greg can't remember a name of something. Oh shit!
It's the old man who was super fucking rich. He was dying, and then he drops the snow globe and says Rosebud, and then it's a mystery on who killed him or how
Citizen
he died.
Kane.
Citizen Kane. Thank you. Fuck my butt. Could not remember it.
No.
Jesus Christ. I'm like, I know it's about Randall Hirsch or Hearst, whatever Hirsch.
Hers.
There's a whole fucking Drunken History episode on it
Yeah.
that Orson
I mean,
Welles
he
was like,
squashed it.
it's like if you want to know more, but like the behind the scenes on that movie is way the fuck better than the movie itself. Way the fuck better than the movie.
I would agree with you. We had to watch that in my honors English class. I was like, what is this? Why are you subjecting us to this? I wasn't
will
a
say
fan.
There is an old movie that I think is absolutely wonderful that doesn't get talked about enough, and that is The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh my god! Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, no, I love that movie. I don't think it gets
I
talked about
do.
enough. I think not enough people fucking have seen it.
Oh my
I
god.
saw that. My stepmother, my first stepmother, introduced me to that movie back when I was around 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there in that time frame. Because she was from Africa.
Oh,
She's like
this.
okay.
Yeah, she was from Zimbabwe, actually. I mean, she was white English, of the, but she was like one of these horrible apartheid people,
Huh.
that was all down with like keeping people enslaved and everything. So I mean, she was cool. But she introduced me to that. She's like, "This was filmed in my home country." I can't do her accent. I can't do her accent. She was from Zimbabwe. She had a South African accent, which is similar to an Australian accent, just
Mhm.
a little more racist.
Diane, what
Oh,
up in there? What
Yeah.
about? Have you guys seen the
I
Serpent's
always
Rainbow?
enjoyed it.
The which movie, Betty?
No.
The Serpent's Rainbow. It's about zombies, like real zombies from Africa. This guy goes to find the powder. To figure out what the people are using to make the zombies in Africa. Oh, it was a fucked up movie. That one stuck with me. I watched it way younger than I probably should have.
No, the
That
only
one was
other
crazy.
movie that took place in Africa that pops into my brain. There are probably others I've seen, but the one that pops in there is Blood Diamond, which is. Oh, I guess you know
Leo
what? No, I take that
DiCaprio.
back. I take that back. Fuck that movie. That movie is really problematic. Like it's inaccurate to Africa and how they like it's not right. There's a lot of reasons behind it. I watched a documentary on it. I was like, oh shit, this is like they got a few things right, but it's mostly wrong. No, I was gonna say fucking District 9. I know it's not accurate to history or anything like that, but
What
like
about
it.
what was the one about the two lions? And the guy had to go out there. One of them was called like the Ghost or something. It was eating people. It was a man eater, and he had
The
to go
Ghost
kill
in the
lion.
Darkness.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Never seen
was
that
fucking-
one or heard of it.
That was crazy.
Val
Yeah.
Kilmer. Val Kilmer
Yeah.
and Michael shit. His last name.
Pulling a Greg.
Well, no, I can remember his first name.
Sometimes I can remember the
Michael
first name.
Douglas.
Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
What about the Island of Dr. Moreau?
Of course.
I've never seen that.
Wow, that's a crazy movie. It's got Fairuza Balk in it as a cat girl.
So when that
Okay. That's that. Oh,
So which movie? Here's a question for you two. So I'm gonna
gotta go.
don't answer.
I gotta
so
go think
don't
dirty
answer.
thoughts about Fairuza Balk.
Do not. Speaking of Fairuza Balk, do not answer this question until I'm done. Which movie do you think that she starred in is better, The Craft or Waterboy?
Waterboy.
Answer.
Yeah,
All right,
Waterboy.
we're on the
Because
same
I
page
mean,
then.
it's kind of also a very personal thing for me because when that movie came out, Betty was a lot skinnier and Betty looked like Fairuza Balk. And everybody would come up to Betty and tell her, "Oh, you look like that crazy chick from The Craft." I'm like, y'all can fuck off. Yeah. I am not the crazy bitch from The Craft, but I'm about to be.
Oh my god, that's funny.
But I love the Water Boy. She was really good in that movie, and I loved her character. And I love Adam Sandler, and I love the Water Boys.
And I love Vicky Valancourt, and she likes me, and she showed me her boobies, and I like those too.
What's really funny is that Fairuza Balk did a voice. I believe she did a voice in Miami Vice. I think it was Miami Vice. It was one of the GTAs because I remember that I recognized her voice immediately when we were playing the game.
Vice City.
What did I say? Did I say
Was
Miami
it Vice
Vice?
City? You
I
said
think it was
Miami
Vice
Vice.
Sorry, Vice City. My bad. Vice City.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember if she did a voice in that. If it's that one or if it was San Andreas. Okay, it was Vice City. It was Vice City.
Yeah.
Yes, I just looked it up. But yeah, I remember playing it and we came across her and I was just like, is that the girl from Waterboy?
Yes, I think she owns a Wiccan shop in California now. That's what she's doing. So good for her. Run with it,
imagine that
girl.
she's
Oh, yeah.
relatively successful. Why don't we go ahead and wrap up this podcast since we've been recording for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Holy
Also,
shit,
I
we
need to go.
have.
I need to go get some dinner. No, this
Yeah,
this
I
is
could eat.
this is exactly these uninhibiteds are super fun. I like to also call it, Betty, the ADD podcast, where we just go on tangents.
Oh yeah. I mean, we
Go
do
wherever the
this in
fuck
our
we want.
house all the time. So this is typically how a night would go with Jeff anyway. So we have these kind of conversations. It's like he asked me a couple weeks ago if I could be anyone from history, who would I be? And I thought about it for a second. And I was like, I wouldn't be anybody because everybody we know from history had to suffer to get to be known in history. And I don't want to live like that. He's like, you wouldn't want to be Boudica? I was like, hell no. You know what happened to her. I don't want to be Boudica. No. I mean, she was badass, yes. And she will live on forever in my heart, but I don't want to be that bitch.
Yeah, so yeah, doing an uninhibited, I fucking miss these a lot.
Yeah,
and it's kind of hard to
fun.
do with reviewing weekly shows now. For
Mhm.
example, everybody, we're going to be reviewing Falcon and Winter Soldier next week, and we'll be doing that for the next fucking 10 weeks.
It doesn't come out until when?
This Friday.
Oh, it comes out Friday. So yeah, we will be reviewing it. Damn.
Yeah.
I was like, we can do Uninhibited again next week, but we can't. But
What we can
okay.
do is just review Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then the rest of the episode is just talking about what the fuck ever. I think that's acceptable.
That'd work.
We just won't be adding new shit unless it's something like a movie that we all really want to see. But we'll cross that bridge when we fucking come to it, y'all. Everybody, again, like I said, watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's what we're going to be talking about next week. Make sure you follow the socials down below. If you want a t-shirt or a mug or something with our drawn faces on it or the logo, you go to Teespring for that. That link is also down below. Go follow the YouTube. That's where we're doing the video version of this. We can see our faces talk to each other. I say this every fucking week. I still need to record my personal reviews, but I will get to that. I recently watched something. I didn't write it down, but I want to review it. The fuck was it? I don't remember. Anyway, whatever. Fucking, I'll remember it later. It'll be tomorrow afternoon, like I do with half the shit that I do with my life, and just fucking pop in there and whatever. But yeah,
you blurted it out loud, and your dad's driving down the road. What the fuck were you saying?
Yeah, like the procedure that the streamer that I watched had. Good Lord, it was because I don't know why I was thinking hysterectomy. I knew that wasn't right when I said it.
It was a hysterectomy.
But yeah, give the YouTube channel a follow. We'll try to put more content on it, but you know, whatever. We'll get there when we get there.
Subscribe, click the notification bell, comment.
Click that bell. Other than that, Maya, where can folks find you?
You can find me on Facebook under my newly minted legal name. Yes, and it's here to stay forever. You can find me on Facebook under my name. You can follow me on if you want to. It's a public profile. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I'm active, semi-active on Instagram, not so much on Twitter other than posting the occasional thing here and there. I'm not a Twitter person so much, but you can follow me there for the few things I do post. If you want to catch me on other shows, I am on on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. One is called Figure Bangin'. It's an action figure review podcast. It's live. It's fun. We act like we're 12-year-olds. It's a good hour to waste. Some laughs with some friends. And then every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Nerd Life Syndicate show, where we talk about anything and everything nerd-related, nerd-adjacent, and pop culture and entertainment, comics, movies, etc. And we do that for about 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday nights, and it's a good time. Swing by and say hi. And that's me. Where can they find you, Betty?
They can find me on Facebook under Betty Badger Ogletree. And they can find me on Twitter under Bright Betty. And other than that, I ain't doing shit. What about you, Greg?
You can find me on all socials under Chub Rock Geek. Quite literally, just search that, you'll find me. If you head on over to the Mission Start Tubes or just Mission Start Podcast, search for that on YouTube, you'll find the channel that I do with my buddy Anthony. We're going to be uploading a podcast every 3 months, just kind of recapping what we've done with video games and what we think about the state of video games and just whatever in general. Also, that's where you can see my video game reviews, my solo ones. I did do one for Immortal Phoenix Rising and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So if you want to go check those out, that's where you go to do that. Other than that, that's it. That's it for me on that. Yeah, sorry. I was just trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, guys, again, next week. Or sorry, not next week. Yeah, next week we'll be reviewing Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm very excited for that show. It looks hilarious. They've been putting out promos for it left and right, and it just looks like a fucking superhero buddy cop show. And I'm 100% into it. Yeah, and then we'll talk about whatever. We'll just talk about whatever. So join us then, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.
Peace, love, and polypops.
Take care, everybody.